Reading and speaking Saroo's story. The title is Lost and Found. Saroo barely was only 5 years old when he got lost. He was working with his older brother as a sweeper on Indian trains. Together, they traveled hundreds of miles up and down the vast network. It was late at night. We got off the train and I was so tired that I just sat down at the train station and I ended up falling asleep. That fateful nap would determine the rest of his life. He thought his brother would come back for him, but when he woke up, the brother was nowhere to be seen. There was a train in front of him. Perhaps his brother was on board. He got on it to look for him. However, Saroo did not meet his brother on the train. Instead, he fell asleep again, and when he woke up 14 hours later, he had a terrible shock. There were hundreds of people passing, racing, speaking in an unfamiliar tongue. He had arrived in Calcutta, India's third biggest city and notorious for its slum. He was nearly 1,500 kilometers or 930 miles from his home. Soon he was sleeping rough. It was a very scary place to be. I don't think any mother or father would like to have their 5 years old wandering around alone in the slums and train station of Calcutta. I was scared. I didn't know where I was. The little boy learned to fend for himself. He became a beggar, one of the many children begging on the streets of the city. Once, he was approached by a man who promised him food and shelter. But Saroo had learned to be suspicious of such people and ran away. In the end, he was taken in by an orphanage and put up for adoption. He was adopted by the Brillies, a couple from Tasmania, Australia. I accepted that I was lost and that I couldn't find my way back home, so I thought it was great that I was going to Australia. Saroo settled down well in his new home, but as he got older, this, older, the desire to find his birth family became increasingly strong. The problem was that as an illiterate 5 years old, he had not known the name of his hometown. All he had to go on were his vivid memories. So he began he he began using Google Earth to search for where he might have been born. It was difficult, but eventually Saroo hit on an effective strategy. I multiplied the time I was on the train, about 14 hours, with his speed of Indian trains, and I came up with a rough distance, about 1,200 kilometers. He drew a circle on a map with its center in Calcutta, with its radius about the distance he thought he had traveled. Incredibly, he soon discovered what he was looking for, the town of Kandwa. When I found it, I zoomed down and bang, the waterfall where I used to play. His journey to Kandwa, he found his way around the town with his childhood memories. Eventually, he found his home, but it was not what he had hoped for. It looked old and shabby, as if nobody had lived there for a long time. A neighbor said that his family had moved. Then he struck gold. Another neighbor said he knew where his mother lived now. The man with Saroo where three women stopped the Saroo where three women stood waiting. He stared at them blankly. Only the woman in the middle seemed remotely familiar. The man gestured toward her. "This is your mother," he said. She had been young, in her thirties the last time he saw her. She looked so much older now, but behind the withered face there was something unmistakable, unforgettable, his mother Fatima. The last time I saw her she was 34 years old and a pretty lady. I had forgotten that age would get the better of her. But then I recognized her and I said, "Yes, you are my mother." She grabbed my hand and took me into her house. She couldn't say anything to me. She had a bit of trouble grasping that her son, after 25 years, he had returned. She had long feared I was dead. Fatima had searched the train station for her missing son, but she had never ventured as far as Calcutta. She couldn't imagine he had gone so far. However, she had never lost hope. A fortune teller had told her that one day she would see her son again. And what of the brother with whom Sarah had originally gone traveling? Unfortunately, the news was not good. You see, a month after I disappeared, my mother was found in two pieces of a railway track. We were extremely close, and when I left my mother, I was broke. I was heartbroken. Ha- I was heartbroken knowing that my older brother had passed away. His mother had never known whether foul play was in fault or whether the boy had simply slipped and fallen under a train. Sorrow barely left Longwick had been to see his birth mother again. He feels incredibly grateful that this wish was granted. He has kept in touch with his newly found family, and now Hollywood studios are eager to make a film of his amazing story.